Constructive criticism is something that a lot of us have to learn how to handle, and over the last few years here on YouTube, I've definitely had my fair share of learning on this process. And in order to maintain a certain level of quality, a minimum standard that I have set for myself, which is an expectation that you all should have of me that should be relatively high up when making any sort of video regarding information, which this channel has a lot of, it should be expected that the information I present is accurate to the best of my ability. And if I am presented with information that proves my assumptions and my testing wrong, it is more than welcomed to have that pointed out to me. There are several occasions where I have taken videos and I have completely redone them after I have had certain information brought up to me, which I appreciate that. After all, knowledge is power, and the truth is something that I strive to try and provide. So, looking back on a number of videos in my past, whether it be recent or several years ago, back when I thought I knew more about any particular subject than I really did, I've had time to reflect on that, and as I look back on it, there's certain videos where I'm just looking at it and thinking, this doesn't meet that standard that has been set. This has information that simply isn't as well presented as it should be, or has information that I accidentally, for one reason or another, didn't get right, or maybe my testing for certain things was just simply flawed. So you may notice a number of videos disappearing or going private in the next coming weeks as I comb through years of content to try and figure out, okay, what did I screw up? Because you guys deserve to have the best that I can offer in terms of information. Now, one of the problems I've made in my years of doing things on YouTube is trying to kind of consolidate a ton of different subjects into one channel. That, as I've discovered recently, probably wasn't the best idea. It's become kind of convoluted, kind of a mishmash of things, and that's why I've decided to separate subjects into their own channels. You know, anything to do with fish, I have a new channel, Profiles Aquatica. Anything to do with vehicles, I have a new channel that I'm kind of working on. You know, and reviews and tutorials, that sort of thing, will remain on this channel. So, because of that, there's certainly times when I thought I had learned something new and I was eager to present information that I thought would be very helpful to someone else who was in my position where they didn't know enough and they weren't finding the information as easily as I thought it should be found. So I attempted to fill in these gaps of information by making videos on these subjects, and I find that sometimes I did that too hastily. And I have read comments, and I do appreciate when people present to me, okay, you know, this is probably not accurate for reasons A, B, C, and I look at it, and with more time comes more experience and more knowledge, and I'm like, you know, I completely agree. And instead of trying to bury subjects and try and like hide behind something, that's not what this channel is about. That's not what I want to do. I want to correct that. I want to make these videos as best I can, because the reality is there is a bunch of information on a bunch of different subjects that is just, quite frankly, not easy to find. And there's certainly videos like that where I try to put out, you know, certain content to try and fill those gaps. But there's also things where it's like it's a learning process for me, and that's where the problem comes, where I think I might know something, and I'm eager to try and get that information out. But then I come back a few years later or months later, and I look back at it, and I'm like, no, that's not right. And I try to fix that. But basically what I'm getting at is I'm trying to improve the standards of everything on this channel. Between the video quality, you know, I got a new camera, a new computer, try and do better edits and stuff, better footage so things are more clearly displayed. I'm trying to build a set so that things are in a more professional manner, so it's not as jumbled like this video. And I'm also going back at other videos and trying to figure out which ones not only should have been done better, but need to have been done better. At the very least, to prevent any accidental misinformation, I'm taking those kind of videos offline. And what I'm hopefully going to be able to do is present that information again after learning much more than I knew at the time in a correct, accurate, easy to understand, well-presented manner that hopefully rectifies going forward any information that I may have not had proper before. I am just one guy running this YouTube channel, and I'm human. I make mistakes, and I'm trying to acknowledge that I do make mistakes. And I'm not going to hide behind anything. No, there's no excuses for it. That being said, there should always be a resolution to something like that. So if you notice certain content is missing, it's because I'm reviewing it. I'm going over it, looking at it like, how do I explain this better, more accurately? You know, how do I present this in a way that makes sense? Because there's certainly videos that warrant that sort of action. Usually not anything to do with reviews. It usually has to do with something involving like the fish subjects that I've done on this channel, which once again, all those are being, well, the videos that are available here will stay here in a playlist, but from now on, any future videos that are created on the subject will be on Profiles Aquatica. So you may, you know, there's definitely also some niche pieces of information. There are some reviews that I have definitely redone over the years because my methodology wasn't good enough, and there's certain reviews that I do plan to redo, and you know, try and do right by everyone, because no one likes wrong information. And if I'm going to present myself as someone who is trying to do the best I can to present accurate information, it's important that I make sure that information is accurate. There's no faster way of being told you're wrong than posting it on YouTube. So, with that being said, just letting you guys know what's going to be happening as we go along throughout the year. So, videos will probably not come out as fast, but I'm going to try and take more time to make sure I get my footing and my information correct. I don't put my foot in my mouth, so to speak. And you may see some old subjects come up again with new information, more accurate information, hopefully more easily to understand and more well explained. So that's the whole idea. So I just want to let you guys know, because you know, I'm aware of certain things, even if it's not brought up on any mass scale or not. It's something that I personally want to make sure I do. So thank you all, for those of you who are subscribed, who view my videos, and for those who point out whatever information may not be correct on any video of mine. Constructive criticism is important. And I, more than most people, because of the position I put myself in with the type of content I put out, have to be able to handle constructive criticism. And hopefully this is the right path to handle that. Redoing, analyzing certain subjects, and hopefully doing it better next time so that things are correct. Now, there's not a ton of videos I feel fall under this category, thankfully, but there's definitely some. And let's see if I can do better.